Welcome, my beautiful souls, and Taurus. Welcome to a brand new year. The first month of a new year, a universal year 9, by the way. This will be like the final push. What's got to go? What is interrupting you and your dreams or coming between. Um, we're ending a 9-year cycle, so you can think back from 2017 to today and look back without judgment. This is just about, seeing how you've grown, the things that you've overcome that you probably thought you couldn't, but yet you did. Uh, you know, and being in the universal year 9, it's really getting us ready for 2026, which is the universal year 1. But I don't feel like we have to wait for that one energy. I feel like if we've done that reflection, like we end up in the Nine of Wands energy, which is reflecting back, but with purpose, um, not fear, any of that, then I do feel like, and, we sweep out the door, whatever needs to go. Then I feel like you're going to enter into the one, the ability, you always have the ability to manifest, but it's like you're manifesting from a different perspective almost. But anyway, so this is going to be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. Many are intuitively guided. Thank you for paying attention to your intuition. I just realized I forgot to put my rings on. Um, some may be in love with the Taurus, whether platonically or romantically. And because I do read through my spirit guides, they know you're here. You know what I mean? My guides connect to your guides. We're one big soul family. That's why one reading can really resonate with so many. So just be open to that. You can certainly ask your guides for signs of confirmation. Um, a lot of times they'll come in a reading, but you know how I get confirmation a lot? Like I'll be done with my day and then I'll sit down with Sam and we'll watch a little TV and something will come across the TV and it will be like the exact title of the video that I did that day. It's always something like that. And I'm like, like I pay attention to all the signs. Um, I've learned that, but it's taken me some time to learn that. But anyway, it's to me, it's just like I'm seeing signs of confirmation from my guides very quickly, even in a reading. Like I'm always talking to my guides, like in my mind during a reading, and I may ask them, like, if this is what you're talking about, can you bring out this a certain card? And I'll be damned, like they bring out the card. And it just happened in the last reading, and it was soulmates. Um, so I'm just saying, trust your guides, trust your guides. Um, anyway, Taurus, by the way, I don't want to do too much talking. I feel like I know someone has me on a clock, because she always writes down like when the reading starts. To me, the reading starts the minute I hit start, because sometimes I'm channeling or what have you, but I totally get it if you want to jump ahead. But anyways, what I was going to say is it would be a good idea to know what your personal year number is for 2025. And that changes every year, just like the universal number changes every year. Your life path number remains the same. But to find your personal year number, it's really pretty simple. You're going to add the month that you were born, and I'm going to use my birthday for an example. So I was born in September, that's 9. I was born on the 13th, so the day you were born, right? Not the year, don't add the year in. So the month, the day, and then add that to whatever the universal year number is, and equal that together. Bring it down to a single digit. So let's say you end on 23. add the 2 plus the 3, and that would bring you to a 5 personal year. I just so happen to be in a master number 22 this year, the master builder. So I'm going to use that energy. So when you reach a master number, which would be 11, 22, 33, or 44, that stays. You definitely think about like what, like a 22, like two. So, my relationship in this year is going to be important that I focus on it. I already know that. And then the 2 plus the 2 is a 4. So 4 is stability, the foundation. Um, because I have that like runner type energy in me. And there's many times I've just gotten up and like, that's it, I'm leaving. You know what I mean? Um, anyway, I'm not sure why I'm saying that right now. So, Taurus, let's go ahead and begin the tarot portion of your reading. We're going to use Mother Mary for her beautiful words of wisdom, the Gilded Tarot, to go deeper. It's interesting because I keep thinking I need to change up the deck I use for clarifying. But then every time I go to change it, I'm like, something tells me like, no. It's like this is now this deck's purpose. So I'm going to trust that. Um, anyways, that we'll use the Gilded Tarot to clarify and really to go deeper. I brought out the Romance Angels for love. I already know love's going to come up. And by the way, I do life readings, so love is part of life. And love can mean, again, platonically, romantically. We're using major arcanas. For those who are new, I really use them as like bullet points. But I have to tell you, I feel like they bring so much to the reading. Uh, I just kind of love them now. We are going to use the Psychic Tarot for your main spread, which is not a deck often I use for you. It's really kind of your opposite type energy, but it kind of feels like that's what like that's what I'm meant to use. So that may be a message there. Who's your opposite, Scorpio? This may be a period of time where your emotions are going to come into play, hopefully in a good way. Shall take you. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a shuffle or two just to see if anything else wants to come out. Actually, I'm going to bring the lid down before I forget. All right. All right. Boundaries. Mm. I am clear and honest with others about my expectations. Like, you know, if you set those boundaries with someone and then they cross them, you certainly can go back and be like, hey, I set these boundaries, right? You're being very clear, very honest. I almost feel like if you're here, play with my heart or play with my mind in some way. Um, I just don't feel like it's going to happen. I feel like I'm picking that up I'm not feeling it. I am picking that up intuitively. I'm seeing a lot of like angels around you. So, there's nothing wrong with creating boundaries. Sometimes I worry that the boundaries in like the Eight of Swords, which is really a self-created prison, we can like misinterpret that. Like, is that the Eight of Swords? It's really not, because this is someone like I'm not hiding. I'm being open. I'm being honest. All right. Health. My prayers for healing miracles have been heard and answered. Interesting. Boundaries. I don't know why I'm putting them up there. Boundaries, health. Some of interesting because Happy New Year, by the way. Some of you may have set certain intentions around your health, and some of these boundaries may be of your own, like I'm not going to allow myself to cross that boundary. And then we have family. And it's funny, all of a sudden I feel like, and maybe we're doing it as a family. I don't even feel like it has to be like blood family. I pray for my family and give this situation over to God for answers, support, and healing. I have a feeling someone may be a little worried about maybe your own health or someone else's health. I really don't read like health because, I'm not a doctor and I don't play one on TV. Um, but I do feel that energy. Um, and then I do feel that energy of maybe there is something like, with these boundaries, and I'm feeling it both ways, by the way. So I feel like for some it's boundaries that you're setting and you're being very honest in a nice way. You know what I mean? And for others, maybe even all, it can be like crossing your own boundaries as it relates to your health or a family member. And then I do feel that there may be some who you're doing something and it may be like losing weight or just getting in shape, that type of energy where you are doing it as a family. It can be your work family. Um, you're holding each other accountable. And that's a good thing. Okay. I'm glad I looked. All right. Everything is always pre-shuffled before you get here, but we're going to give it a cut. And I'm shooting for like, I don't know, 3 to 4. Look at that, the magician, the manifester, the fool's first mentor along any new journey. And the magician's job is to teach the fool that you already possess all the tools that you need to be successful, to have this adventure. And it comes from wisdom of past experiences. I have a feeling that's why he's looking back also. Well, look at that. Hello, fool. And he's looking right at the magician, like my mentor. The fool's about taking a leap of faith. Um, it's interesting how I said that I feel like you can clear the energy of the nine, let's just say, sooner versus later if like you follow what it's asking for. And that's what the fool does because the fool is living in the present moment. The fool is like in unencumbered energy. I'm not worrying about the things I cannot control. And I feel like in his little knapsack are the tools that the magician is telling him or her that he possesses now. So the fool is about to start some type of adventure. And I feel like if nothing else, you're getting great advice about it. But I feel more than anything, this is about you trusting, you just like going for it. We have the emperor, could be a business, could be becoming a father. It's interesting how they're all looking this way. The emperor's looking at the fool's looking at the magician, and the magician is either looking at the past, and to me that signifies like that closing of reflection. Because remember, reflection, it's meant to be final, right? Final reflection. And 9 years gives us the opportunity to do that so that we can let go, right? Not carry the weight of every single cycle along for the ride, because that would weigh us down. And the fool just feels light. You know what I mean? Just feels kind of light as a feather. And then you have the stability and the wisdom and, the leader of the people. Um, that energy that is looking right at the fool. So it feels like the fool's ability, but does the fool know that yet? We have the death card, and of course, it's also looking back. I don't know, I should stop, but something is telling me to take one more. But we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna trust that. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. Okay, so we have the death card mirroring the magician. We have the ending mirroring the beginning. Everything is looking back, and in between the beginning and the ending is the fool and the emperor. And how interesting that is, because the emperor really is at the top of the game and the fool is at the beginning. It's like the apprentice, right? And the master teacher. So this could talk about a journey that some of you are on, and seems kind of exciting, but I feel like sometimes it feels that simple, like, when there are endings, there are new beginnings. All right, let's go ahead and bring the psychic tarot in, and let's go a little deeper here. I can already tell that I'm really going to get into your reading. All right. Hmm. It's interesting. I feel like for a few of you, maybe more, there feels to be like a father figure who is like your guiding light, is like your push forward, your energy forward. Almost like maybe they were like this when they were living, like if I started to get lazy, they were like, mm-mm. It's almost like over here holding each other accountable. But this feels, there's no judgment in this energy whatsoever. This is just about like encouragement forward, but it also feels like giving you the energy, or giving you the, maybe piquing your interest at something. Um, and it could be a father figure, big brother, that type of energy. Really, it's someone that you looked up to. This little, and it would have to be would have to be a spirit guide. Reason being is they lived on this earth. They were born of a woman, and I don't know what I was going to say after that. Hmm, I don't know. All right, we have your major arcana. Interesting. The Hierophant called Wisdom here. I like that. We have Rest and Rejuvenation. This is the Four of Swords. Mother Mary talked about some of you praying for healing and, seems to be here. Interesting is connected to, first of all, your major arcana, but just the word wisdom, because I feel like that's part of like your reading is wisdom, the wisdom you've gained or wisdom that you're gaining. Um, this person feels, like feel like at one with nature. This person's open, right? Like open to the healing, open to receiving, open to the truth. 5 and 4 is a 9. I feel like there's a magician coming above your major arcana, which is a 5. So, yeah, I feel like, when you have a 5, you may have to just get used to changes in your life, but usually these changes are meant, like each change to me feels like a stepping stone. Um, but I feel like the magician's energy right above you, it's like your wisdom, like, it's like the magician is your mentor and saying that you have what it takes for whatever it may be, and faith, like, question your faith, question your belief system. Maybe something you just want to get comfortable doing, like take a pause here and there and look around, what's working, what's not. I feel there's a lot of you opening up to your spirituality. You're learning more and more and more. We have the tower next to the Four of Swords. Well, if I was going to see the tower anywhere, that's where I'd want it. And interesting is coming under the Emperor, because I did feel for quite a few that this was again a spirit guide and could have been someone who, and by the way, this I'm not predicting anything. This would have happened already. Um, I'm not that type of reader. But anyway, but I don't want to be that type. And that's my choice. But anyway, something could have happened suddenly, you know. Um, but they're so strong here. You know what I mean? That's what you want to trust in. And you have the Four of Swords right next, excuse me, right next to that tower. Conflict and defeat coming under the death card. Another 5, by the way. Temptation. Excuse me. Card of Capricorn. And then we have interesting justice called balance in this deck. And that's what the using the sword of justice gives you balance. You know, allows you to be the fool. But you gotta know when to use it. You gotta know when to use it. Number 11. Hmm. Feels karmic. You know, what's happening over here hmm, looks difficult, but what's happening over here is the overcoming of this. Someone may have what's the word I'm trying to find? Succumbed to something they were trying to overcome. And, you know, there's probably nothing you could do. I feel like our souls, we all have our own battles to fight that nobody else can really fight for us, and a lot of times it's our own shadow side. Like I say, get to know your shadow side, don't hide from it, get to know it. Hmm, beautiful. We have, what's it called in this deck? Patience. This is temperance. This is about divine timing. Um, sometimes I feel like we're waiting in the universe and the universe is asking us to be patient. And other times I feel like the universe is waiting on us and they're being patient. Then we have victory and success under this tower. Temperance, well, she's mirroring the fool, first of all. So this fool, must be on a divine journey. Um, maybe already pre-written because I feel like there's a lot of guidance for this fool, a lot of strong guidance. Um, one particular spirit guide stepping forward. Not that all of them don't help, but there's like one like, I want to do this. Um, and then I feel, working along with your whole spiritual team, which includes your angels, archangels, and so forth. There seems to be a lot of energy around you like that. Like a lot of divine protection. And there does seem to be one that, again, this feels like your guide who is, you know, I feel like just trying to get your ear, just trying to get your ear, but in a good way, like in a way to help guide you, um, well, it says victory and success. We have the Four of Cups, discontentment and boredom under conflict and defeat. Dang. If you look at this person, their back is against the world, like they're disconnecting from the world. I get it. There's a lot of heavy energy around. I get it. But I also wonder if I can clear it. Or maybe even look at something with a different perspective. Maybe a spiritual perspective. Um, in the Four of Cups, you can't see it in this card, but there is a cup that's coming in. And normally it looks like it's coming from the hand of divine. And to me, that's like a cup that's coming in the light that I can trust. And this is about learning to use your spiritual discernment. Something is happening. Again, this adds up to a 9. Hmm. For those who may be missing someone, I want to make it very clear that your loved one is connected to you always and forevermore. Um, for those who find themselves like right now in a difficult situation and you're wondering, do I stay or do I go? I feel like you're being guided to go. That has to be your choice. It's a free will decision. Um, but because the energy around it just feels difficult, and if I go this way, it's so much more positive. This person's, it's interesting because, interesting. Just realize the person in the 5 and the person in the 4, both of them have their head down, actually. It's like temptation looking right at me, like temptation's here. It's interesting you have the light against the dark, mirroring each other. That might be why I said, like, don't hide your shadow self from yourself. You are who you are, and both are equally important. It's kind of what the strength card is, learning to control it, knowing when I need it, when I don't. I wasn't going to take this many cards, but we have recognition and reward. Look at that. We have truth. This is judgment. This is your spiritual team. They're calling you to the present moment. The fool's calling you to the present moment. The magician's calling you to the present moment. Even the death card, right? Because it's a door that's closed or closing or should close, depending your situation. So you know, it's now in the present moment. Interesting judgment says truth. Ace of Pentacles. Prosperity begins. And then movement, choices, and decisions. 2 twos anchored by a 1. Not anchored, but in the middle. A 1 in the middle. I think some of you right now are trying to make a decision about something, deciding whether to make movement. And what I want to say is if the energy around you is very difficult and you just know there's more out there, then I want to say take a leap. Take a leap of faith. Remember this cup is coming in to the energy of discontentment and boredom. So there's dissatisfaction there. But then comes this Ace of Pentacles. And this Ace of Pentacles is really meant to enhance your life, prosperity. Mirroring the Emperor, by the way, some of you, I'm telling you, if you're starting a business, it can be promotions also, but it's like at the top of your game. But some of you, this could just be the beginning of something that can truly be successful. Your spirituality may be part of it with judgment, your truth. And listen, to get to your truth, sometimes we do need to go through the dark night of the soul. So you're making a decision. And it's interesting because this person in the Four of Cups, his back is against this Ace of Pentacles. Hmm. And it's funny because I feel like there's someone where you do want to change something in your life, maybe your whole life, but you don't feel like you have the energy. And I feel like it's your guide that's trying to help you. Like maybe I can't get it, like, I don't really have the energy for it, but I can't get it off my mind because I feel like the opportunity shows itself, but then you still have to make the decision. I love the judgments here though. So, especially with temperance, divine timing, your spiritual team, a rebirth, the fool. Let's go on this adventure. I mean, it can't be worse than this, right? See, it's on the bottom of the deck. Firm foundation. That's important. It feels like this person in um, firm foundation, like I notice their muscles. And anytime I notice muscles, I feel like they're spiritual muscles. Some of you can be health also, like, do you want to build some muscles? I feel like there's some people who've had some lower back problems. Um, and I'm hoping healing, plus your action will help that. Nine of Pentacles underneath that. Material harvest. It's like not here yet, but we just saw it. All right. All right. Let's take what's face up first. The Hermit, which by the way is a nine, which by the way is represented by 2025. The Hermit. Sometimes I'm telling you, we have to go through the dark night of the soul. We've got to, let's put it this way. For those of us who, become light workers, let's say, which is a very wide range, um, a lot of that comes from our own wisdom, our own experiences. This is someone who is seeking spiritual wisdom, but on this earthly plane. Now, the hermit is not in a cave. And that may be why, because it's coming over the magician, and your major arcana. That may be why, because you're the only reading that I said where I felt like you can get through this energy sooner versus later. And then there it is, connected to the magician and your major arcana, and your wisdom. Just what the magician teaches. Well, hello, temperance again. So, in a way, I feel like, especially because judgment's out here, because judgment and the fool, it's all present moment energy. This may be like like divine timing for something. It just may be. And this reflection, it may be that important. And then to just use it as your wisdom, not to live in it, not to relive it, just to learn from it. A lot of you, I feel like what you're learning, what you've been learning, is how to read energy, good and bad. But I feel like lately it's kind of been bad. But I still feel like you still gained, though it does feel like a loss at the same time. Anyway, double Sagittarius, by the way. But this feels like something is saying, like, this is now. We have the Page of Pentacles. I feel like, well, because I already learned, right? I learned from the Tower. We shouldn't fear the Tower. Yes, it can be like uncomfortableness for a little while, but we can learn in that energy. And I'm telling you, I feel like we learn more when we're in the dark, our own darkness, our own shadows, than when we're in the light. I feel like when we're in the light, we're using what we've learned from the dark. So, Page of Pentacles, this is about a learning experience. But I also feel like for some of you, this is about wisdom that you have, and then putting it to use. Could be something you went to school for. And the Ace of Pentacles down here, well, I mean, hello. That definitely feels like the way, money. Though I am noticing two hands are nurturing this ace, coming from two different places. The Page of Pentacles knows that part of their journey is about knowledge, is about learning. And it's not all about like books and degrees. Yes, I mean, of course that's helpful. But this is about your spirituality. This is about energy. Like you're learning more and more and more. And I feel like the more you learn, the easier it is to let go. I feel like for someone, there could be a father who's going to give you money to go to school. Um, though I feel like, phew, I feel like you're lucky. And don't take it for granted because it does feel like a one time thing. Okay. That just felt like a little message. Who's not giving you the recognition you deserve? Who doesn't appreciate you for who you truly are? You know what I mean? Like on a soul level, not who you want me to be, but who I am. The more we learn to live in our own skin, the less and less we will wear masks for anyone. And, that's a sense of comfort, really. All right, we have the chariot. Took a while. Card of Cancer. Um, the chariot it's interesting because it's coming over conflict and defeat. Some of you, I feel like the chariot is your car. And maybe you're in taking your kid and you're leaving. And some of you it doesn't have to mean you have child. Um, but I do feel that for some of you, like the chariot feels like it's your car. And even maybe the Ace of Pentacles is so you could buy a car. The chariot means you believe in yourself. You stop thinking or caring about, those who, I don't want to say we're against you. But there are people who, I don't know, they just don't get us. And that's okay, right? But doesn't mean I have to be around you at the same time. Ace of Wands, beautiful. It's like it's go time, action. This is inspired action. That means guided action. You just need to pay attention to the signs, be willing to take action, keep the faith alive. Some of you it feels like even your mind, like your interest is being piqued. Hmm. Eight of Swords over justice. Look at this beautiful Knight of Pentacles. You have lovely energy in this line, starting with the Four Swords, healing, temperance, divine timing, temperance again, divine timing, patience first, truth, which is judgment, your spiritual team, all calling you to the present moment. The Knight of Pentacles, I often feel is like guardian angel energy. Knight of Pentacles is also an energy that can be slow moving. There's a lot of energy where patience may have been the name of the game for a while. But in a way, I feel like you may have also had a little bit to do with that because the Eight of Swords, self created prison. Maybe I felt stuck, but you're not. This self created prison, the only one who can uncreate it is you. It is an eight, so it's allowing yourself to have a new beginning. It's putting down those walls, but keeping those boundaries. Knight of Pentacles says I come at the right time. So when I come in, it's the right time. But it does feel like, first and foremost, this sword, this cutting of either energetic ties or actual ties, um, it feels necessary. I mean this in the most loving of ways, but I feel like, am I holding myself back here a little bit? I feel like I know what I know. Even if I try to deny it, I still know it. There's just something that's stopping me from changing this energy. And I feel like it is up to me to change it. By the way, if I say I or me, I mean you. I just am you right now. So I feel like the big thing is this decision and then the movement. But again, you're being inspired. There's a cup coming in. The Ace of Pentacles has shown. Knight of Pentacles, what is it promises this night, or this ace. Here it is. It's after the tower. And you've learned from that tower anyway. Maybe if you come from it from that perspective, victory and success along with prosperity begins. True. Four of Pentacles. Hmm. I could see some of you buying a house. Look at this, the Ace of Pentacles again. This night is like, this is not a one time blessing. These blessings are well earned. And it's not first of all, I feel like as soon as I say I'm no longer willing to stay in discontented energy, whatever that may mean, boom, I feel like this ace shows up. And it's meant to help you. With the Four of Pentacles here, I would say stay open. Stay open to like new ideas, um, epiphanies, directions. Like, don't be resistant in this energy. Flow with it. It'll just be that much more abundant for you. We have the tower. I have to tell you, this time I feel like you're giving the tower. It's mirroring this Eight of Swords. And then the Three of Cups. Joy. Celebration. It's almost like you're celebrating with your closest friends, your closest people. I did it. I did it. I did it. It feels like immediately there's a sense of joy. And maybe it was just getting you over that hump. It was like, oh, just needed to get over this hump. I feel like I can't avoid towers. So the Eight of Swords, where, I have these walls up, it's not going to stop towers from happening. Matter of fact, it may create more because you're not really being aware in this energy. The only reason I'm bringing that up is I just want you to know that because I feel like this has really been about you learning how to read energy and therefore trusting in that. You're probably meant to learn that so that you could trust in that. But I really feel like this tower is you. Like you are using this tower for your benefit because I feel like immediately it brings a sense of joy. If I only knew what I wished I knew, you know, but yet this is giving you a peek. There's a lot of free will in here. So, I can't make promises, but I can tell you, you know, the potential of what lies ahead. I feel like it starts with you believing in you. This chariot could take this Ace of Pentacles and make it 10,000 pentacles because there's no limit to it. Hmm. I don't even know. I don't even know if there's anything I want to look at. I feel like it's very, very clear. Um, it's interesting because it's not really talking so much about love. It is talking about platonic love, but romantic love. I mean, there is a cup coming in the Four of Cups. I think what I want to do, so I'm going to look at this real quick, just because I have a little bit of a question. Six of Wands again, victory and success. It means you receive that cup. It means you accept that cup. So let's just bring in the romance angels. Even though I don't feel like, I'm not saying that there's not going to be love on your path and all that. But this is definitely about you right now and your growth and your abilities. Um, I am seeing synchronicities, and that's one of the main reasons why I decided to bring out the romance angels. There's so much divine energy here. And in the Four of Cups, the person's receiving a cup. Now that we have victory and success over that, and the Ace of Pentacles, because that means something's coming into your physical world. It's tangible. So let's just go ahead. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. I don't know why. It's reminding me of the Three of Cups. It's interesting because I feel like I use this tower now. I feel like I feel joy. I feel different. I feel happy. I feel lighter. Like almost immediately. And I feel like I get back into the world. I get back out into the world. Look at this. True love. This is a romance of a lifetime. Okay. I guess I was wrong. Well, I shouldn't say I was wrong. Um, because I did feel like something was telling me to pull them. And that's why I wanted to take a major arcana over the Four of Cups, where you are receiving a cup. Then I'm also noticing that the Ace of Pentacles is right there. So that means it's something coming into your physical world. To me, that means you're receiving this cup. And I just kind of love what it says now. Interesting that we're again starting at the pole. So express your love. Go ahead and make that romantic gesture. I feel like it's talking about flirting, just having fun. The fool's playful, but then you have true love. And this is a romance of a lifetime. It's probably why we're seeing the beginning and the end. And I feel like the end, there really is no end. And that's why the chariot's also there because it's unlimited. So interesting, like at the last moment, really. I mean, if we're going to ask for love, this is love we would ask for, right? True love. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there, Taurus. Um, can't wait to read your comments. And I know people are going to be at different places. And I feel like that's where the comment section really helps because, I remember being in this energy. I remember, I remember. I remember taking a chance as the foal. I had to take a chance just to be with Sam. I had to take a chance. Something did have to end. That's true. So anyway, I'm just saying that I feel like a lot of you will relate. I really do. So anyways, I thank you. I'm just realizing all the wounds I have from watching the Steeler game. This is from when they won, which is now a scar, and they lost yesterday. And I think I came down and I hit my hand. I am a Steeler girl. I am a Pittsburgh girl. But anyway, so I thank you guys. I thank you for your comments. I thank you for your donations, truly. I thank you for you sharing. I know more and more of you are, and I love that. So thank you. Um, I just love you. And I'm going to let this be. I shall see you next time at our table, Taurus. Bye bye.